Welcome to the chat. Let's see here. Just doing some housekeeping. Okay. Got a little bit of work to do today. It's Saturday, so it's not going to be as intense a day as normal. We've got the kids home today, and so we'll be hanging out with them later. We've got a few things to do, a little bit of pool maintenance. I might try to, Wildcat, hey, good morning. Might try to do a little bit of weeding today, but we will have to see. Right now, though, we'll wait for a few more people to get in here, and then we will go ahead and do our Saturday stroll. So, in the meantime, I'm going to add a little bit of chemicals to the hot tub and the pool, and that'll be done. Wildcat says he's working on thank you notes today. Ah, super fun. Super, super fun. That is sarcasm, by the way. I hate doing those, so I don't. I'm horrible like that. Always have good intentions and then never follow through. So, yeah. Can't really do this one-handed. Got plans for after that? I'm grateful for a little bit of a chill day today. These kids keep turning up this hot tub. I'm going to make them pay the power bill. I like to keep the hot tub set on like 98. The kids like it on like 104 or something ridiculous like that. But that's just too hot for me. I can't even handle that. Makes me dizzy. Anyway, we'll give people a few more minutes. Let me get this, the shock in the pool. Turn the filter on and then we'll throw the vacuum in after a minute. My pump, look at this. I can hear it running, but it's not pumping any water. Let's see here. Hopefully Sophie didn't burn it up. Hi, Eddie. Welcome to the chat. Okay. Let me just get this filter going, and then we will put the shock in and go for our stroll. Hi, Miss Reese. Welcome. We're going to go for a little stroll around the garden here in a second. Not easy to do this one-handed. No, Eddie, my name is Cynthia. You can call me Cynthia, or Mockingbird is fine. I think we just need to pour the rest of this in. There we go. Good thing I got some more. Miss Reese says her pool is green right now. Well, I hope you get it going. I don't know what's going on with that. My pump, that makes me a little nervous because my daughter, I had told her to take off the pump off the cover, and and she left it on its side and it was running, so it probably burned burned it up. Miss Reese says there's tons of frogs in her pool too. Okay, well anyway, you guys, we've got a few people in here. Let's go ahead and get going with our Saturday stroll. We can talk about the work we've got going on this week. You can see here we need to go ahead and get these sprayed again. I keep talking about that more natural spray than Roundup that I want to try, so I need to get that mixed up and going. We just put some chemicals in the hot tub, so that'll be working, that'll be going. And anyway, so yeah, we need to run the vacuum, which is right there. We'll throw that in here after we get that cover pumped off, although I'm not sure what's going on. Probably have to buy a new pump. We're doing pretty good here. Those are the planters of geraniums that I made yesterday. Yeah, yesterday. Miss Reese says your pool is so pretty and blue. Well, thank you, Miss Reese. Those are going to go on the back patio, which I didn't show you. I could have while we were there, but we'll just go around the back way. Okay, so last week we started working on this flower bed. Got quite a bit done. No, Miss Reese, we don't live on a farm. We do live in a rural area, though. We have about 3 acres. So this is a flower bed that I made. It's a little bit overgrown right now. I want to keep working on it, but I've been covered up with some things, and we had to get going with some other things. But I did some weeding back here. Oh, my daisies are blooming finally. And we didn't get to finish, but we did get quite a bit done. So anyway, we need to finish this flower bed this week and hopefully be able to lay out the wood mulch, wood chips basically, and get that finished. Then we need to get started on this bed over here. More weeding in this, and I don't actually love the look of this bed. I kind of think I want to maybe take out these catmint and maybe just do like limelight hydrangeas. The only problem is my Japanese maple is finally starting to take off and I love it. So it wouldn't really match with hydrangeas, but I don't know, whatever. Miss Reese says she can smell those flowers through the screen. Oh, it is so nice, and the fragrance, but also, the pollinators. Look at this. Did you see that bumblebee? I love pollinators. Bumblebees, honeybees, carpenter bees. I love them all. There's a little honeybee right there. Hi, baby. So I try to, plant things to do what I can to help the pollinator population. So our roses are taken off. These are just I think these are the pink knockout roses. It's a Star brand. It's a hybrid. I don't know if you guys have seen those before. But our ferns are doing well. My olive tree back there that I kicked out of the house, he's actually doing really well too, which is awesome. Yeah. So just so you can see, Miss Reese, we have our property goes to, you can see that little pine tree right there. There was a few others there that they just died. I don't really know what happened, but those over there, and then the fence basically to the road, there is our property. And then on the other side of the far trees there beyond the driveway. So it's about 3 acres. And we have a fenced in backyard, and so that's pretty nice. Especially because Savannah, once she starts walking, it'll be a safer place for her to go play and she won't be able to get to the road. So anyway, it's a work in progress. I try to do a little bit every day. And there's a lot of work that has to be done to get things done finally for the spring because having Savannah kind of set me back. But here's our little bird cam set up. I love it. It's been so much fun. And the garden back here is doing well. Yesterday I transplanted some lavender. I don't know if you guys saw that video or not, but I basically pulled it out of here. And we have some more to do, but I put it in the chicken coop. I didn't want to do all of it in the chicken coop because if the chickens tear it out, they are incredibly destructive. So they may, but also lavender is really hardy and really woody stems. And so I thought maybe they wouldn't. So it's an experiment. I wanted to try that instead of just getting rid of it. So I will be removing these lavender plants and putting them somewhere else on the property. And I have a few ideas, and I can share that here in a minute when we get around to it. But that's the plan. Miss Reese says, the roses are so pretty, and I love your house. Thank you so much. We are very blessed to have this house. Oh, you guys, my green beans are up. Yes. So I am waiting. Are you talking about the lavender, Miss Reese? It is huge. Let's see. I don't know what I could show you for, what do you call that? Perspective. But I am 5'9", and it's up to my hip, which is and even taller than my hip. So, and that is pretty tall. Wildcat says, love the flowers. Ours are starting to bloom. Awesome. Wildcat, what type of flowers do you guys have planted? I forget. And Miss Reese, yes, we do have dogs. We've got Mando right there. He's a full Great Pyrenees. We got him from a farm. Then we got that little crazy cat right there. Max, get out of there. Ugh. He's such a killer. He kills the birds. I hate it. But he also kills mice, so there's that. And then you can see here, if I can zoom in, you can see Sweetie sitting in there on the other side of the fence. Both very good dogs. Very, very good dogs. But yeah, anyway, back over here, I was worried about these green beans because the seed was over 5 years old. And well, yeah, 2020, it was sell by 2020. So it was probably, earlier that spring or even in 2019. I don't know. And I did have to plant some. I filled it in. So these would be new right here. These smaller ones would be new. But these larger ones are the 2020 seeds. So that's exciting. And I did plant some dill in here. That's new. And these are the basil that we grew from seed. I grew those. But then I did add those two larger ones because I was afraid that mine wouldn't take off. They were kind of slow to get going, but they're here. And then we did add, I did add a couple of these. I think this is oregano. Nope, thyme. I added a couple thyme plants and then a couple oregano plants because mine were on the puny side too. So anyway, Miss Reese says she has 2 dogs. Miss Reese, what kind of dogs do you have? Over here is the strawberry bed. Yesterday in my transplanting, maybe it wasn't yesterday, I found that I have another strawberry that I need to move. So that was exciting. We need to pick strawberries over here. Got more strawberries and garlic in this bed. Then we have mojito mint in this bed. I want to do a video on making homemade mojitos. They're so good. So, so good. We've got tomatoes over here. More green beans. I really wanted to fill this in. This is our first year doing raised beds. And so I'm excited to see how much food we get from a smaller, more condensed space. Because if I step back here, I used to have an in-ground garden, but it's getting too much on me. And so I felt like we needed to scale it back, especially since having Savannah. So, okay. Right here, this corner, over to here, this is a tiger eye sumac, was the 2 edges of the garden. And it went, you could kind of see the difference in grass. It went all the way back to those lavenders that are blooming right there. And so this was all in ground and it was huge. But it just got to be too much, especially with having a baby. So we're switching to raised beds. Miss Reese says, I have a Bernedoodle and a Golden Doodle, but they don't like each other. That's unfortunate. Bummer. Oop, Sorry, didn't mean to do that. Just trying to see if I had zoomed you guys out. I'm pretty excited about these. I don't know if you guys are familiar with, there's one that's, oh my goodness, you guys. This is like, oh, it's ripe. It just came off in my hand. This is a black raspberry. Let's see. Black raspberries are my absolute favorite. We are absolutely loaded here this year, and I could not be more excited. They're just the best. I might sell them at the farmer's market this year, but I'm not really sure. Miss Reese says her dogs both hate water. You know, Mando hates water as well. I don't know what that's about. Here's another experiment that we're going to do. Oh, over here, I planted a June Princess apricot. So that's a new baby tree we've got. Our peaches are loaded this year, but the apples are not so much. So I don't know what's going on there. But just got this in the ground last week. And so I think it's doing pretty good. Over here, though, this is just more like compost. I asked the landscaper if I could just take the rest of the compost that he brought. And what I have done in here is I just put some different watermelon seeds in here to just try to cover the soil and also get something out of it, since it's just basically staying here for now. And so I'm kind of excited to see if we get any watermelons. Here was a volunteer. I don't know if this is a zucchini or if it's going to be like a pumpkin. I'm not really sure. It's kind of spiny, so we'll have to see what that is. I don't know. Miss Reese asks, are apricots the same as peaches? Apricots are not the same as peaches. Did I say apricot because I meant nectarine? Nectarine are also not the same as peaches. So, have I had any snakes? There are probably snakes on this property. I prayed that I wouldn't see any snakes. That doesn't mean I won't. I hope not. But I have not seen any this year. I hope to not see any snakes this year. So also a couple days ago, we pulled out the poison hemlock from this bed. So you can kind of see a little bit about what we've got going on here. We've got the comfrey, which the pollinators are going nuts over. The rose of Sharon, we've got 3 rows of Sharon in here, and they are loving it because they can finally see the sun. And if you look at this one was totally covered back. Like you could see all the poison hemlock that we pulled out of here. This was totally covered. You know, like no wonder it's smaller than the others because it wasn't getting as much sun. So it's kind of stunted. And then back here, this is a coral knockout rose. I think I need to transplant it. It's not looking great, probably because it didn't have as much sun as it needed. But we've got black-eyed Susans getting ready to pop up. The allium right here should be getting ready to bloom at some point soon. Still got a lot of weeding to do in this bed, which we will get to. But, you know, it is what it is. It's a time thing with a 1-year-old and 4 other kids. So anyway, another of the coral knockout roses. Miss Reese says, I've had 2 snakes in my backyard this year. I don't like snakes. I don't either. I hate them. Do you know what kind of snakes they were? Praven, good morning. Yes, I do live out in the country. We are about 8 miles from town. So not too far, but so many weeds in this bed. But we also have a lot of blackberries. Blackberries that are as big as like from here to here. They're huge and they're really sweet. You can see them. That's a blackberry flower right there. You can see the flowers starting to bloom. They're looking great. And then here the blackberries are loaded. You can see there. You're saying they were just small and they had green on them. Did they have like a yellowish stripe? It might have been a garter snake. Praven, blackberries are not my favorite. I do prefer blueberries, which we also have. There's more blackberries you can see. This is our chicken coop, by the way. We'll get the chickens, get our chicks rather, July 1st. So The roses are doing great here. I can't remember the name of this one, uh, but it's just really going crazy. It's very fragrant too. This one, I just want to smell it real quick. I love it. Got our echinacea, more catmint. But you guys, these beds are just out of control. It's embarrassing to even show you, but you'll appreciate the transformation once we get them weeded and new mulch. There's our blueberries. They're doing well. Miss Reese says, do I like nature? I love nature. I would rather be outside working, even relaxing, but I don't get to do that very much. But I would rather be outside working than inside cleaning house any day. So I mentioned the lilac, or not lilac, excuse me, the lavender that we need to transplant. I'm kind of thinking we've got this open space here. I think I'm going to put it in this bed somewhere once we get, well, I won't weed it first and then move it. I will just weed the spaces it's going to be in, and then we will transplant them. So potentially right here, where we've got an open space here for one of those lavenders, and then right back here. Pravens asks if I'm a farmer. I am not a farmer. We did have a berry farm when we lived at our old house, but that just got to be too much when the kids were little. Miss Reese says she can tell that I like nature. Yes, I do. I love it. So over here is a hibiscus. The flowers on that get to be as big as a dinner plate. More blueberries. We've got some bee balm back here. More echinacea. It's just starting to take off. This is a weed, so that's going to have to go. These are all weeds, so these will have to be popped out of there. And I need to get it done so it doesn't overshadow the rest of the plants and then they not be able to bloom. So, like, you can tell there's just so much work to do. We've got a totem pole grass here. More echinacea and our yarrow, and this hibiscus is just getting ready to bloom. And in here behind this pampas grass is another rose. So again, I'm going to have to pull these out and think of somewhere else to put them. And then we've got Miss Reese is asking, do I eat meals from our garden? Sometimes. It's just going to depend a lot on what we get this year and how much there is, because I do have 5 kids. And so with the 7 of us, you know, my husband and myself included, there's quite a bit of food that is needed. So yeah, more pampas grass, echinacea, catmint. This is a lilac right here, which I missed the blooms on that. I'm kind of bummed about that. And then a happy jack clematis. Miss Reese says, bye guys, I have to go. Love this live. Miss Reese, thank you for coming. I'm glad you got to hang out with us for a little bit, and I hope you have a great day. We've got some heliopsis right here. This is a reblooming sunflower. I like that it has this type of cool variegated leaf. So that's kind of been an enjoyable plant to have. We've got yellow sunny knockout roses here, all along here. And then this planter we did the other day, hanging planter, honeysuckle right here. And it smells really, really good. I love when it kind of perfumes the air. And then over here, I have mentioned this in another garden stroll video. This is, or it used to be, rock and blue suede shoe salvia from Proven Winners. Well, when I planted this bed up, it was gorgeous, but this dropped its seed. And so it came back, and it has come back every year, but it's a hybrid, so it's not true to what the hybrid was, which was Proven Winners rock and blue suede shoes. But you guys, this year it actually looks identical to it. And so I'm not sure what's going on with it. I love it. The pollinators love it. But I did not plant this. I planted it once, like back in 2018, 2019, and it maybe 2020. I don't know when I did this bed. It's been a few years, but it came back. And so that was exciting. And then this here is, this is a hydrangea that I made from a cutting when I broke off a stem from a hydrangea that I had planted. Actually, I think it's from that one right over there. So this is a cutting, and it's just been amazing. It's been amazing that this is just taking off. Now, I haven't got to clean out this bed even for winter yet, so it's still messy and, whatever, but we'll get to it. It just takes time. But here we have some butterfly bushes, 2 of them. I think this one is a little bit slower to come back because it's getting a little bit of heat from the water heater, but it will get much, much taller. We've got some perennial salvia here that will grow up and cover the gas meter. And then we also have these wonderful little hollyhocks. That's not little, actually. That's getting ready to bloom. We've got some back there along the house. More of the self-seeded salvia. And then we've got a weigela right here. Some more lavender that I didn't get cut back. Like, I really dropped the ball, but, it is what it is. Another hydrangea. And then we have 3 Savannah roses that I got, as namesakes for my daughter Savannah. And so we have this one, and that one back there. And then we have this honeysuckle was from a friend who gave us a little tiny start. We got it planted right back here, and it has just taken off. So we can go back into the pool fence, and I can show you guys the planters that we've got in there. And then, if you want, we can just hang out with the dogs on the porch and visit for a little bit. So, okay. Of the planters up here on the patio, that's why I forgot to show you, those pink geraniums I mentioned at the beginning of the video are going to go up here. I'm not exactly sure where, but probably along here somewhere. We have a hydrangea. I think it's a bobo hydrangea, so not very large, but a hydrangea in this pot that just stays in that pot all year. And then here is the Rockin' Blue Suede Shoes salvia that I got this year from the nursery. So this one is a true hybrid, and it looks exactly the same as the others. So I'm kind of just like amazed at that right now. Here's like kind of a view of the backyard from the patio. So even with it not being totally taken care of this year so far, it still is gorgeous. It's just a beautiful space. I'm very grateful. Here are some different planters that we planted up. I need to get drip to those, which I will do here in a video, hopefully pretty soon, and get that done so that they can be continuously watered, which is how this plant is. I mean, they're doing pretty well, just surviving on rain. But then we have, this is a Bermuda Beach petunia. It's a supertunia, a Carl Forrester, and then we've got some lantana. And then we've got some more daisies. This is a mirroring planter here. And then we've got some, what do we call these? More of the Rockin' Blue Suede Shoes salvia and the Suncredible sunflowers. That's what these are. So they have not started blooming yet. There is some lantana in here, but you can't even hardly see it. So these are also set up on drip. So it's really easy to kind of just plant them and then they do their own thing. You don't have to deadhead them or anything. Over here, these are a new to me Proven Winners petunia. They kind of have more of a spilling habit instead of a mounding like the others. I wasn't sure if I would like that at first, but they're filling in nicely along with this Green Mountain boxwood. So anyway, that is the garden space. I didn't know if you guys want to just hang out and chat after that or not, we can. I'm here to answer questions. If I don't know something, I'll let you know. But I have been gardening for quite a while, since I was a kid with my mom. So I may be able to help you with your questions if you need. And if you don't have any questions about gardening, just pop on and say hi and let's visit for a little bit. There's even weeding. I just passed the roses. There's even weeding that has to be done on those. It's nice to be able to sit out here and look at the, got a blanket that was drying out on our line. Sit out here and listen to the birds sing and just look at the nature. I love it. Can turn you around so you can see. So we planted up those planters, and those are some impatiens. They're not a big fan of sun, so that's why they're under the porch along with the ferns. And then our barn swallows that live on our porch are going crazy because, I'm out here by their nests, which are right there. So they're having a freak out. But it's a beautiful day, and it's going to be a beautiful day. It's only going to be a high of 75 today, so it's going to be gorgeous. But anyway, well, you know what? I've got a lot of work to do, so I am going to go ahead and get off of here, and I hope you guys have a really, really wonderful day, and I will chat with you later. Bye.